Everybody, and welcome to round 12 of the Contest of Speed Tier 2 Championship. It's the final day, everybody. It's the final day. It's going to have me crying before the end of today. My name is Dan. I'll be your commentator for the season, as I have been for the whole season, and as I have been here all season, so has my lovely, lovely friend.
Oh, thanks, mate. Thanks.
No. I'm not bitter about last night at all.
Well, you know.
I'm not actually. We did well last night.
Hey, what can I say? Nice way to finish off the season. It was fantastic. Very nervy. I could probably tell if I was in one of the two camps, the Ferrari and the Mercedes camp last night. But fitting that it ended in a two-lap shootout in Tier 2. It's not like it's happened like the fourth time to decide a race this season out of 12.
No,
so, you know.
Yeah, that's true. We'll see how we get on tonight. Both championships, of course, decided. We've got Thomas Arrow winning the Drivers' Championship, and he and his teammate Lewis winning the Constructors for Mercedes. So tonight isn't about them at all. It will be the battle for second in the Constructors.
Yep.
And
second in the Drivers.
Second in the Drivers, is that still up for grabs?
Yes, it is. Dynamo is currently sitting on 119 points. Slate is sitting on 106, and Arbar is on 99 points. So an outside shot, but can effectively still win it. And then it's the best of the rest. P6 downwards is very tasty. Droster's got 55, Rozer's on 50, Mark is on 45, Wisey Boy 45. Two Spell, who's unfortunately not here this evening, so he's going to miss out on the end of school shenanigans.
Yes, he's managed to destroy the entirety of his house electrics.
He's on 39, James on 38, and that's it really, because Dan's not here, so yeah.
Two Spell has managed to put himself back to the dark ages.
Yes.
And he's going to lose out in the championship if things don't go his way.
Yes, but we'll probably more likely finish mid-table, probably, where he's at the moment.
Yes.
So. Yes, they did feel, if you weren't involved in the championship, like the end of term at school, the end of the year.
Yeah, it's like that last day where you get to go in, you go in free dress, you don't really do anything, you just sort of sit around for half a day, don't you, in your form rooms.
Yep.
Sorry, only British people will understand that reference, but it's what we do.
And it's just like, sod it, just go and have a little bit of fun, and that's what it was.
We used to play poker in my form room. Not with actual cash, we weren't allowed to do that, but...
Please don't do that if you're under the age of 18.
No, it is illegal. We do
also
not
gamble responsibly.
We treaded the line very closely.
Was it with Haribo's? That was our currency.
We weren't even allowed to do that for the risk of legal ramifications.
Okay.
But we just used the chips, as you do, and pretended we had money.
Oh, that's nice. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked, aren't we, once again? So Arlo is first out on track and has already invalidated.
He has indeed. It's unlucky. So then, a little bit of housekeeping then tonight. So we are missing Two Spell, Dan and Tennis Freak.
Indeed we are.
So we only have one Ferrari, one Red Bull, and in theory one McLaren, but as is his privilege, I have decreed as champion of Tier 3, as we found out yesterday, KV has taken Two Spell's seat in the McLaren and will be driving tonight, so he can get a taste of what it's going to be like for him next year, and so we can knock him down a peg straight away after winning his title.
Yes, probably not as stressful as last night. We were in the party with him and got swiftly muted just before qualifying, so yes. But what I could tell from our messenger that we had there, Blades, it was very sweaty.
Yes,
to say the
least. He may as well have been sitting in a paddling pool by the time we'd finished.
So no, we'll watch the end of his lap and give him all his congratulations and condolences to Stumpy, because, you know...
No, it was a hard-fought championship for Stumpy.
Yes, it was.
Definitely. And I think if you'd asked him at the start of the season, second in the championship to KV going down to the final race, would you have been happy? I think he would have been.
Yeah.
But I think on the balance of how the championship's gone, I think he'll rue a couple of missed opportunities. I think Baku being null and void and not having a rerun will affect him quite badly. Although incidentally, if that had been the case after last night's result, he would have still lost the championship yesterday. But Ferrari can be very happy with themselves. Stumpy, of course, coming second. Tichy in third, I believe. Or did Ricky hit him on the final?
Oh, God.
No, he stayed fourth, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
I think.
Don't say third. You were third. What are you doing, man?
No, I mean in the.
No. Tichy was very much. Tichy was very much safe, and Charlie got massively out of shape. So, as he gets a slipstream quite nicely from Thomas. Thomas is currently fastest through Sector 2. Our champion of Tier 2 this season, already done. He's moving on to Pastors U. Actually, where he originally came from, Tier 1.
Yes.
And he comes into the pits. Thanks, Thomas. Thank you for doing that. We'll have words later.
Ethan, I think, is about to start a flying lap.
And Jamie goes fastest, 28.4.
This, incidentally, will be Ethan's last race with us for a while.
For a very long time.
His military service has called him elsewhere for next season, but he is still very much part of the league. We hope to have him back in the car very soon. Yeah. But he is off serving, so we can't hold that against him. Not too much anyway.
And Wisey Boy has drifted it superbly around the second half of Spoon. I'm a man of that experience. I did it yesterday. Well held, sir. Well held.
So we've had a couple of people do some drifting this week, I think, haven't we? We had
the synchronised drift yesterday.
And Ricky, yeah.
No, it was Kostar and Raycom yesterday. Around turn 1.
Oh yes, it was. Yes.
They're practising for Tokyo.
Reports from Tichy says rain in 10 to 15.
Well, it's Tier 2. Come on. It's kind of what we expected. It's always Tier 2. Always going to rain at some point.
We didn't get any yesterday.
No, we didn't.
We always thought we would yesterday. I don't think you or I have ever raced at Japan where it hasn't been wet at some point.
No. Until yesterday. And to be honest, I thought we were due some rain. Although we had some in Singapore, but
yeah,
we were thinking more of a wet start to the race yesterday.
Right, Rosa coming around the final corner, down towards the start-finish line. His first time puts him into provisional P3, 128.5.
We always talk about the crossover between Tier 2 and Tier 3. The Tier 3 time yesterday was from KV, and that was 27.7, I believe. So
conditions today are worse than they were yesterday for qualifying, so we've got overcast conditions by the look of things, whereas yesterday they were clear, so there's maybe a tenth in it, maybe 2. So I would suspect if KV can get himself into the 27s at all, I think he's doing well for the pace we know he's got. Anything better than that, it's a bonus.
Be interested to see how he does. Obviously, the likes of him and Robin's rejoining back to Tier 2, which is where he was before he left. And KV, obviously, we always talk about the big step up. There seems to be more of a step up between Tier 3 and Tier 2 than possibly Tier 2 to Tier 1. It'd be interesting to see how he does. We've seen the likes of Thomas, Rosa, have done really well this year. Can't remember the third one. I'm sorry.
Cygate came up and then dropped back down.
But that was kind of expected, and then obviously Cookie
Rosa
did
and Thomas
the 2.
are the main ones. So.
Yeah, and Cookie did the 2-tier jump, which worked to some extent. So.
It worked superbly.
It did.
Until he decided that work was more important, the heathen. Which of course it is.
Yeah. So, a lot still not set a time, and considering rain is on its way, would be a little bit concerning. We saw yesterday.
Robin is coming down towards 130R now to finish his first run.
We saw yesterday it was quite people were struggling in qualifying. I didn't expect that many people to go off or invalidate.
It doesn't look a particularly good lap from Robin.
No, but a lap's a lap, and Mark's retired. Oh, he's lost. That is a strange place to lose the car.
Yeah, coming out of Spoon.
You can see that on the track map on your screen. And also there's a Ferrari going slowly. That's because he's got to be careful. That's Thomas. He's just moving out of the way, but he's got to keep the thing rolling.
I'm thinking of Mark. He must have clicked the AstroTurf on the outside and just lost it and gone into the wall.
Indeed.
The only way I think you could lose that there.
We'll see how his teammate's doing. He's coming through the Casio triangle. Watches out for the bump, which is a little bit scary. Goes up to third, so continues his good run and form in recent weeks. And Rick's left the session. That's concerning.
Hopefully Rick can get back in.
We shall move on. Anyone on a lap day can we see?
At the moment, I think... Yes, Thomas, Ferrari Thomas.
Okay.
He's on a lap. Just looking at the telemetry here, interestingly enough, Arvar's just gone with the fastest Sector 1 with his provisional pole time. Rosa, interestingly enough, is holding the fastest Sector 3 time, and KV holds the fastest Sector 2 time.
Ooh, Thomas drifting round the second half of Spoon. And that's really important because you need a good exit out of that corner to get that straight line speed. Yet you see he's down, he's trying to get...
I'm seeing a lot of purple on the timing screens. Jamie's about to come in with a monster time.
We will skip to Jamie. Actually, Jamie's in front. And Jamie does go to pole. Thomas goes into the pits. I think Dracer was on a lap as well. And he still is.
He was. Green through Sector 1, not purple. So it's a personal best, but not a session best.
No. Still 4 guys sitting there with no times on the board.
Donamo could be coming up for a quick one. He's just gone purple in Sector 2.
He is. Actually, he's ahead of Dracer, but I want to watch the rest of Dracer's lap. As goes to the line, only 28.7, puts him P8.
Donamo incidentally P3 with a 28.4 from the Swiss driver.
So Lewis currently up. We haven't seen much of him yet. Fresh off the back of the constructors' title.
So I'm going to watch Fallen on his lap.
He's losing a little bit of time though, needs to maintain the speed. Vital line through the Casio triangle. Watch out for the bump, you should be okay though. Goes, hugs the inside and goes up to 4th. So gained most of that through the last sector.
Good job from Lewis there. I'm just wondering, we can see at the bottom of the timing screen there that Thomas hasn't set a time yet. He mentioned, didn't he, that he was going to try and do a last to first challenge once both titles were wrapped up.
I mean, the one time he's complained about coming through the pack was Hockenheim, and it was Hockenheim, and he didn't like it either.
No. And he has had to do it a couple of times this season, and it's not always gone his way.
Singapore, actually, last week, qualifying, was let him down.
Fallen, the only man on a decent lap at the moment, but he's lost it at Spoon.
No, he hasn't. He saved it. Don't you dare say he's lost it. It's well held.
It's compromised the lap, though.
Yes.
And he's backed out of that one. But his teammate is behind him, so he might try and do the toe.
Yes.
A little bit too far away, though.
Well, Arbar, it looks like the only one out there, so let's go through and have a little bit of a shakedown lap on board with Arbar. As it's my turn this week, isn't it? So Arba opens up the DRS as much as he can. Whoa, and gets the grass as well. Why not? Goes down for the main straight, looking for the tricky first corner. You're looking probably to brake halfway in. Hold the speed. So very important now. We're coming up to the S curves. If you get one wrong, the whole lap goes to absolute toilet. I'm going to use that word. But so far, nice and smooth. Yeah, that's the one. Now he comes through the Dunlop curve. Be careful not to clip the inside and the outside, because the curves would like to spin you around. As we now come up to Degner 1, and that's nicely done through there. Dead corner. Need to get good traction as you go up to the hairpin, which is turn 10 and 11, because there's a little kink there. Out 11, he goes into hot lap still. Gathering speed through turn 12. This long bend counts as a corner for some reason. First part of Spoon is turn 13. Looks to run and use the outside curb and gets a nice line through turn 14. The second half of Spoon needs to have good traction. As you are going to gather as much speed as possible as you head down to one of the famous corners in the calendar, 130R. You take it flat out as much as you dare. Looking for the important braking point as you turn into the Casio Triangle. This is the last couple of corners, and you need to then power as quickly as possible to the line, and does. We need 28.2.
Improves. I think he lost a lot of time at the Casio Triangle. He was on pace with Jamie through the first two sectors. It's sector 3 where he's actually lost 2/10 on him. We'll see. No more time for Arba. He won't get another run at it. His time is now locked in.
So I will move to Rosa. Rosa is one of few on a flying lap. Everyone else is on their out laps. We're slightly ahead of these guys, so we'll have to wait and see if people make the checker flag or not to start their laps.
See, over the Rosa, I'm just riding on board with Ferrari Thomas, and he's got a lot of traffic in front of him. They'll all get out of the way dutifully, but it's not going to help in concentration.
As you see, sector 2 on that map is quite busy, full of cars. Looks like the racing points may be looking at some kind of slipstream. But Rosa's slightly up on his own time, 1/10 up, so it's going to put him around currently the second row at the moment. See if he can maintain it.
Robin was 7/10 up on his previous time, and he's come through with a 28.7.
He is 1/10 up. Kept it clean so far. Drives to the line. And it's going to be 28.4, so that does put him just behind his teammate. We will move though on to and see how Jamie is doing. Jamie's currently on pole. He's marginally up in his own time.
Wisey Boy has him validated, so that's going to be him out of the running.
Is he the leading racing point? Because if he is, Jamie so far not making any obvious mistakes as such. Probably could use a little bit more curb, be a little bit more greedy, but fairly tidy. Yeah, he's down by half a second.
KV jumps himself to second, 28.1.
I'm going to see how Slater's getting on, because Slater hasn't set a soft time yet. This is the battle for second place in the championship. This is between Slater and Don Amo.
Big Slater, he's set the fastest sector of anyone through sector 1. He's on pace in sector 2.
This has been a one-shot quality and a half so far. And
he puts it on pole. 27.8 for the Irishman.
And Broden looks like he improves by a 10th. That puts him 9th. I think that's it. He's the last one to cross the line. Everyone else dived into the pits and bailed out.
And interestingly enough, we have 3 different drivers setting the fastest sectors, and 2 of them I don't think you'll believe.
Okay.
So, Sector 1 is Big Slater, as we just mentioned.
Yep.
Sector 2 is Charlie. And Sector 3? What do you reckon?
I'm gonna go with Roland as I'm sitting here on board with it, but I don't think he is.
It's Lewis.
Oh. Well, Lewis did have a monster Sector 3, to be fair to him. He was only half a tenth up, and then he was pretty much 3.5 tenths up as he went across the line, so... He would be quite happy with that. That's a good qualifying position. KV also, obviously not the pace on pole of yesterday, but puts himself second row of the grid in tier 2.
But it does, as we said at the start, a couple of tenths down on what he would have been yesterday, and that's where he is. So that's not a disproportionate performance from KV. So Big Slater then takes the final pole position of the year after some horrific luck in qualifying of recent races. Jamie Warnes takes second place after what can only be described as a poor season for him. We know he's a good, fast driver, but he's not had the best of seasons. KV, our Tier 3 champion, driving tonight as a prize for his victory, takes third. Arbar in fourth. Lewis O'Reilly, the lead Mercedes, with Thomas doing his last to first challenge in fifth. Donamo sixth. Rosa seventh. Charlie eighth. Profodes ninth. Wisey Boy 10th. Those guys will all start on the soft tyres, assuming we have a dry race start. Fallen in 11th. Dracer P12. Ferrari Thomas P13. Robin or Real Life P14. Mark P15, Maneric P16, Faxland 17th, and Thomas 18th.
Fingers crossed no one presses the button for the final round.
I might be lenient with them.
Oh,
but
really?
Do they want to take... Oh, Charlie, take the risk! Never count on me being nice.
I mentioned it late last night, but I don't think anyone realised any penalties they get in terms of bans carry over.
I'll be honest, I don't know. I think it would depend. If they get a race ban, I think yes, but qualifying bans, probably not.
We'll have to see how nice we are.
Yeah. So, predictions then in the chat, everybody. As Slater leads us away on this formation lap.
Here you go, tyres are up nice and early. 3 on the mediums.
Yep, 3 on the mediums. So
surprise?
Racer, Mark and Faxers. I am actually, just because the Hasses again haven't split their strategies. And I appreciate they're probably going to go for the reverse, because...
Why not?
Why not, yeah. All it takes is one safety car and they're right in the running.
In all fairness, it looked like it worked quite well for Kelsey yesterday, actually.
It did, yeah. Yeah, I think the VSC's helped him with that a lot as well. If there's an early safety car for those guys, boxing and 2-stopping on softs might not be a bad option, as long as they get maybe 4 or 5 laps in. Although everybody else will be able to go from mediums to the end from there.
Yeah, we don't want to use the hards. The hards are not great round here.
No, as Mozza found out to his cost yesterday.
They're not very nice at all. Usually be like, oh yeah, go for it, it'll be fine, you know. Any track, oh, damage on that one, oh, go to the hards, they'll be fine. They'll be an okay race style, and these round here just,
No. Rather drive on ice. So, a couple of predictions in. Blaze says Slater, Arba, Donamo. Tichy, KV, Donamo, Arba. Robert says Slater, Merck, Thomas and Arbar.
Well, difficult to overtake round here.
Claudio Zini says Slater, Arbar and Jamie.
Well, we saw a turn 1 catastrophe yesterday.
I wouldn't call it a catastrophe, it gave us both great places.
I'm trying to be unbiased here, mate. Be really professional.
Oh, I've given over with that. Season's finished for us, we can be biased again. It's just these guys we have to be impartial for. So the cars line up on the grid.
Yep.
The lights are on. We wait for the glitch. And away we go in Suzuka for the final time this season. It's a great start from Jamie. He's going to challenge Slater into turn 1. Arbar's got himself alongside Cavey, but Cavey's going to hang it round the outside, try and get Jamie at the same time. Arbar's managed to get himself through on the inside to turn 2. Cavey drops down to 4th. Well, the movers at the moment, we've got Roland losing out positions. We've got Fallen round.
Yeah. That's one of the corners that's going to catch you out, and these guys got to be careful with a VSC that could
no damage though for Fallen, so he will be able to carry on just to make sure those tyres aren't completely cooked.
Charlie looking very racy, but there's a
Jamie going slowly.
Oh, Jamie going very slowly. Lewis has got past him as well.
Yep, and I think Don Armo's going to as well. I don't know what's going on with Jamie, but he's going very, very slowly.
He's that was a weird one. Just went really slowly. Oh, Wisey Boys tried to send it down the inside. Oh, and there it is.
And he's been punted round.
Yeah, I think Rose just hit the back of Jamie or whatever, and Rosa's round again. That's pretty much sums Ethan's season up. Been very unlucky.
Yeah, so Rosa with damage, Wisey Boy with damage, Roland as well with damage.
Yeah, I think he hit the back of. No, I think he actually hit the back of Jamie, I think, or whoever that was spinning round. So the beneficiaries of that was Rick's up 7 places, and so is Thomas up for 5. Make that 6. He's just got past
coming in. Jamie was AI, which is why he was going slowly, which makes sense.
Don't know why you would be, but we'll move on. So those guys stayed out. Ethan's coming early, so that'd be mediums? Question mark.
We'll see. No, fresh softs. Fresh softs, so he's going to bank on a safety car.
Oh, and Robin and Robin and Faxland coming to blows, and Robin has lost out there massively. I don't think he's got any damage.
No damage for
good.
him. Wisey Boy has continued with damage.
So is Profotus as well. Dang.
Yeah, Wisey Boy with 44% damage to that left side of the front wing. So he will be suffering.
Gonna hop on board with Thomas. He needs to make some movements. He, of course, starting from the back on the softs.
Roland's gone deep into the triangle. Baxton's going to go for the switchback. It's a much better drive. And that's Roland hitting for that wing change. And there was no way he was stopping for that pit lane line. 5-second penalty for Roland.
Let's go back on board and let's go further up front. It's been pretty quiet for the guys out in the lead.
Certainly has. Lewis has managed to make his way
up
into
place.
4th place.
Yes.
With Jamie dropping down, but Donamo is hounding him. And DRS will be active this lap, and Lewis is dropping away from KV ahead of him.
Yeah, Slayer, obviously, in terms of second in the championship, this is important. Dynamo needs to get it done early because Slater is out in front.
Yeah, Jamie is AI again.
Which is not great because that means that car's going at a snail's pace.
Very slow speed.
Rick goes.
Maneric just got held by it, but has managed to make his way through now. And runs very wide into Spoon.
Yeah, and 3 seconds for his troubles. But I think Noah's got a good drive. He's slowly drawing in that Mercedes. Just still a little bit too far back. DRS enabled, so he's probably going to look for the more favoured opportunity of overtaking down the start-finish straight. And Jamie's down another 2 positions. And he does so, Noah to the inside. That's pretty simple. And gets the move done nice and early.
Yeah, I'm just going to jump on board with Paul if I can and see Wisey Boy and just see if Jamie's still in AI mode, because I mean, Jamie's not the kind of guy who would just put it in AI mode and leave it. There must be something going on.
Yeah. Oh, and we've got a yellow flag, and that is for a Ferrari. It's Thomas. So he's lost that on Dunlop curb earlier on.
Yeah, and Wisey Boy really struggling there with his front wing damage. Robin, despite having that spin, has caught him and then overtaken him on the inside of the Dunlop curve.
Yep. Questioned the Haas strategy early on, but with everything that's happened, they're up to 7th and 9th and in a very good position at the moment. Drace is not under particular pressure from Rick, and Rick's actually more under pressure from his teammate Faxton behind. So,
and we missed Donamo getting past Lewis for P4.
No, we didn't.
You didn't. I did.
No, you did.
Donamo now is charging up the KV. This is why. This is why I miss doing the stream, because I know what people have seen. Fastest lap for Donamo as he chases down that McLaren.
It's right, I've got you covered, it's fine. Nothing changes in that regard. And it's Faxton.
You're like my carer.
I wouldn't go that far, but it's Faxton hunting down Rick. He's going to go down the inside. Or not. Or where is he? Who knows? I'm flicking between the 3 of them because I want a good view of what's going out in front. So, Thomas up to 10th and needs to keep some life into those soft tyres, but don't forget there's some fresh softs, so you have probably a lap or 2 longer.
Jamie has retired in the pits, and whatever the issue was, I think that might be why he was going AI.
Oh, Thomas looks descended down the inside, all a little bit of bumper cars through there, forces his way through and is on his merry way. Faxton sort of left the door open, left the car through, and Thomas is like, nope, I'm going to take that opportunity, thank you very much.
So 5 laps into this race, who are the big winners then from the start? You have to say the main one is Thomas Arrow, up 9 places from P18 to P9. Maneric up 8, Faxland up 7.
Oh, Cameron squeezing Dynamo onto the grass. Dynamo's on the charge. Lewis has stayed with them as well. He's only half a second back. Dynamo's going to go around the outside. Oh, can he hang it? Surely not. It would be a fantastic move. He is. He's got the inside line for the next corner. Makes that stick. Oh, a little bit of nudgy.
Good racing there from Dynamo. Gets P3 and now we'll try and chase after the leading pair.
Yep.
Big loser off the start is Rosa, down 10 places, and Roland down 6.
Yep.
Jamie, of course, starting in 3rd place. He's second place. He's now out of the race, of course.
Unfortunately for those guys, it's not really that much they could have done about it. Unfortunately,
Lyric's off Degner 1.
He is, and that's front link damage to the left, so he's had contact, I think, earlier on.
Yeah, I think he may have lost it going through the Dunlop.
He was running very close to falling and Mark.
Yeah, I remember seeing a yellow flag for the end of Sector 1, which I think was him. Jumps across and then saw him off at Degner 1, so... not entirely sure.
Anyway, Big Slayer got a lead of 2.6 seconds out in front.
Yeah. Arbar unable to stay with him for the time being, but he could try the undercut. We're approaching that point.
Jamie has apologised for his AI shenanigans. Wheel disconnecting. You would know about that, wouldn't you?
You did let's not talk about that, but yes, I would. That's fair enough, Jamie. That's unlucky.
Meanwhile, Thomas, our T2 champion, goes down the inside of Dracer and is now up 11 positions. I think Mark has just done the same, but is running it very wide, makes it stick.
We have Minerik in for... don't tell me the hard tyre. Hard tyre for Minerik. You can make it from mediums from here.
I'm not going to lie, that's something that's been costing him all season. Whether I don't know whether he prefers it, he's not putting enough practice in. You know, we can't make those outright judgments, but
taking the conservative tyre choice.
Even if you just watched a little bit of yesterday, you'll know it's soft to medium, pretty much.
Fallen has got major wing damage at the moment. I don't know where from, unless you mentioned it already and I'm doing a job.
No, I reckon it's something to do with possibly the Rick incident with him, Mark. They were all running quite close together because we saw that yellow flag, as you said. But
well, he did the first. He's actually done it in 2 stages. The first of which was on lap 4, and then the second of which is only just done on lap 7. So,
oh, hold up.
Early stoppers. We've got Dynamo and Racer in, both for mediums.
Be interesting to see where these guys come out, and it's going to be, I reckon, around where Robin is.
Got Fallen in as well, but that's to be expected.
Yep, Robin is then up to P10. Lewis has now got 2 cars in front of him, and he only had 1 earlier on. But we know how important the undercut is round here, so trying to gain that track position nice and early on. So we'll be looking to see if KV responds, which you would expect, wouldn't you?
I would, yeah. I would also expect Thomas Addo to pit this lap as well, so he can try and get the jump on anybody who stays out a long time ahead of him.
I think Lewis is going to try and get the move done as he does into the hairpin.
Yeah, Wisey Boy's still out there with severe wing damage, so he's only costing himself time at this point.
It's kind of just spread out actually at the moment, but obviously the stops are occurring, so it'll be interesting to see.
Arbar is in and Slater has continued.
Slater looked quite happy actually on those tyres. Let's have a look to see how he's getting on.
KV is also in. Charlie has continued. Thomas has continued. So those are the last guys of the softs close to stop. There are 2 on the mediums that we need to still consider. No, 3 even. Mark, Faxon and Dracer. Those guys will have to stop, but not until maybe lap 17 or so.
Haas is running in a comfortable position actually, 4th and 5th.
Yeah, no one really between them. Say between the closest, not anyone between them, no one really around them. Ooh, Thomas a little bit of a squirm there from the rear end, coming out of Degner 2.
Slade's still pulling away from Charlie, interestingly enough.
Yes, but what's his time overall to the guy who would essentially take the lead, which is Arbar? Pit stop here is 22 seconds, pretty much exactly.
Well, he's gained another 10th. He's up to 24.9, nearly 25 seconds actually to Arbar.
Yeah.
Stays out again.
That could be his undoing. We'll have to wait and see.
we'll keep it gap to leader so you guys can see the developing picture between the leading two.
Charlie has pitted. Thomas again continues.
And
But that's
fastest
the
lap.
fastest lap to make his point. That's
Don't forget though, he's got those fresher tyres. He could put fresh softs on. Didn't qualify as well.
No, good point, well made.
So he'll probably stop. Well, I reckon Slater will stop this lap and Thomas the lap after, actually. I reckon so.
I'm not so sure. I think we could see them both stop this time round.
Actually,
Thomas.
I'm expecting Slater to stop Danny because Arbar has gained 3 tenths so far this lap on the medium tyre.
Yep. Robin and Wisey Boy in for fresh mediums. We'll see those guys down towards the back end of the pack at the moment. So we could have a great battle for that final podium spot on our hands at the moment.
Yeah, we got a great battle for P2 in the championship as well. Don't disregard that. Slater's doing all the right things at the moment to leapfrog Dynamo. He's the one that's going to have to respond, and Slater is in. I think Wisey Boys had a little bit of spin on the fresh cold mediums.
And Thomas is in as well.
So let's see. So should come out. Oh, he's going to be behind the Hasses. That's interesting. And we've got
But he is in front of Mark.
Yes, which is important. So he's got a car. I think we saw a Alpha off, and it was Robin, who's now going to try and get past Fallen. Very up and down season, I think Fallen's had. Had a great result in Britain, podium there.
Slater now losing time, stuck behind the Haas of Faxland.
Oh, and the side by side still. Fallen hangs it round, well defended.
Here goes Slater though, to the outside. He's going to try and hang it round Spoon Curve. And does so. Little resistance there from the Haas.
They've got to think about their own race. They're going to be coming back on that soft rubber at the end. Though interesting enough, Dynamo is quite close behind Arbar. I think Slater is going to go for a move for the lead. Dyrus open, strap move 4. And yep, gets that one done. I think Arbar is. Arbar's behind Mark. So what do you expect from the medium guys, Danny? How long are they going to be out there for?
I think lap 17 or 18 you'll see them stop. Maybe 16 if they're feeling adventurous.
Be interesting to see what a virtual safety car or safety car does around those stages. As
yeah, VSC in around 25-30 seconds from now would be perfect for those three. Mark made a mistake out of the hairpin, and Arbar's right on the back of him.
Oh, Rick's round him. Rick's in the wall as well, I think.
He's okay to continue. Arbar, meanwhile, to the outside. This is going to go around the 130R. It's a drag race. Arbar is quicker. Gets it done just before 130R. What can Donamo do? Can he make a move here as well? Not quite. Slater
past.
with the fastest lap.
Yeah, don't know. He needs to get past Mark because he doesn't see R12 going off into the distance.
I'm just looking at championship and I'm doing the maths. Not my strong point, as I'm sure regular viewers will know. However, even I can't cock this one up. Slater, in order to overtake Donamo, will need to win, and Donamo finish 5th.
So he's doing that at the moment. Look at that.
He is, but we've got 3 cars still to stop in front.
But the more he gets stuck behind Mark, the more it's bringing KV closer, because KV's only 1.3 seconds off now.
He is, and that will then in turn bring Lewis, Charlie and Thomas into play. And that's Rick retiring
In the pit lane. It's in the pit lane. Because I know what he did. Yeah, he got 10 seconds before, so I know what he's done.
I was just wondering because of where his dot was, whether or not he retired.
Anyway, Donamo's pretty much pushing Mark through 130R. There we go.
And ahead, Faxland and Arbar fighting for position. Arbar gets the move done finally.
Faxland's got no ERS left ready to respond to that, and Donamo could pick up 2 moves.
No, Donamo's not going for it. No DRS for him, and he wasn't even interested in pressing for it. He'll wait another lap. Constructors Championship wise, with, you would say, second driver, both Wiseyboy and Roz are not scoring points at the moment.
Yep.
The difference is 18 points.
So Renault got it covered just at the moment.
Yes, it would require Slater to. Slater needs to win to overtake them. But then Donamo would need to finish no higher than P7?
P7's what? 6 points? Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. 7th or lower then for Donamo and Slater to win for the Constructors' Championship. As it stands right now, to change. Wiseyboy and Rosa can make the difference.
Donamo is though pushing the Haas through, goes down the inside, which is then he's going to then get squeezed out by Faxon, but he can go again. Over the bump they go. DRS will be open. Faxon will pull to the inside, but I think this one's going to be a little bit more rudimental.
Arbar's got fast racer as well ahead. But look who's right in the mix now, just as you said. Here's KV. Racing across now as a free man. This will be the crowd he's with next year.
Yep.
I say next year. It's 3 weeks away.
We knew what he meant. Next season. Same thing.
Yeah.
Everyone catches the drift. And Thomas goes down the inside of Roland. Roland goes straight off into the wall. I think Thomas is going to wait. Looked like he waited for him. I'm not sure. That was very Roland, bizarre.
I think he's got serious damage.
Front wing damage. Yeah.
Yep, he has no front wing on the left hand side and has damage to the right hand side as well.
It looked a very weird accident. From
Nightmare evening goes from bad to worse for our glorious leader.
In the other McLaren, he's sniffing 6th and 5th at the moment. And Mark, because of Faxon's pace, has got himself back into this as well. Yeah,
Faxon's been defending so much from those guys coming through the pack that it's compromised his own run. Whereas actually he's coming into the pits now.
Yeah, he was dropping off so much.
Though, to try and get it slowed down.
KV goes down the inside, but they've both got DRS. It should be pretty close as they get into turn 1. And KV gets it done, so KV's up into the effective P4.
Good job from KV. Faxon then on the soft tyre will come out in P10. that has a mountain to climb. Robin with plus 5 seconds, we all know what's happened there.
Yep.
Thomas is in.
And he's retiring from the session, but meanwhile, Fulham's going to look to go down the inside into turn 1, gets it done. Yellow flag sector 3, but that's because Thomas has retired in the pits. Drace is still hanging on to Don Ammo just about, so he probably... Will he pit this time? I think possibly so.
I would if I was him. I may be tempted to go one more, depending on whether he thinks he can stay in or not. He's outside of DRS now, so probably, yeah, stop now.
Sector 1.
I'm just riding on board with his teammate Faxton to see if there can be any sort of undercut overtake go on.
Yeah, they've got to be careful actually, because Mark... See, Mark was with them. Mark's had an incident, because look, he's down to 8th.
I'm not sure if it's an incident or whether it's just KV, Thomas and Lewis getting past him.
But he's lost a lot of ground, because I was about to say he's in the hunt.
And he's pitted as well, same time as Dracer. And I think Faxton might actually get them both here. It's going to be very close between him and Dracer. And Dracer keeps the lead position between those Hasses.
Well, yeah, I expected Mark to actually come out in between those two though. So I think he's had a bit of a faux pas on that lap.
He's lost a lot of time there.
Yeah. Which we didn't see. Meanwhile, Robin is still stuck behind Fulham. And he's still wanting to get past, but he's going to have to wait possibly until Spoon. And the run down to 130. Oh, back end steps out.
The man on a mission, the man doing the last to first challenge, Thomas, in P5 at the moment. And closing in on KV. Our Tier 2 champion, his teammates let him go.
Being chased down by the Tier 2 champion, chasing down the Tier 3 champion.
Yes.
Be interesting to see if he puts up a 5.
I think he will. KV's going for... Well,
I hope he does.
They're both going for pride. Yeah.
I hope he does. Meanwhile, we will keep a close eye on. In fact, we will watch Don Ammo, see if he can chase down R-Bar. It's within a second, so DRS will be available. And so far, we'll hold P2 in the championship.
He will.
Robin has.
I'm just sticking with Thomas for the time being.
Robin's
slowly but surely reeling in that McLaren.
Yep, Robin's finally got past Fulham, so see what pace he's got left.
I mean, it's going to take something superhuman to be able to catch up to those guys ahead of him.
Yeah, on the softs. So top 10 looks like they're pretty much done and sorted, but that could be the commentator's curse. Usually is.
It will be the final order that's the unknown quantity. Danamo could be on the move here.
He's still drawing it in little by little, but I don't think he's going to get it done. I think he's a little bit too far back. So he'll have to wait again.
Yellow and 6.
Robin's hit the curb on the outside and has got some, I think, some moderate front wing damage on that Alpha. It's looking a bit sorry for itself.
I'm not putting anything on the telemetry, but if it isn't set, then we wouldn't know. We'll soon find out. We'll probably see in box if it's significant.
I reckon he will do.
Yeah, he is doing. Takes a 5-second penalty and retires in a pit lane. not entirely expected.
No. Does mean though, 14 runners left, and those guys outside the points, if they just stay, because, well, we saw yesterday there was a safety car that came out with 3 laps to go.
3 laps, yeah.
If you're one of those that haven't got any penalties,
for our sake, it was fantastic.
I mean, I was quite happy with running around in 4th. I had a very lonely and boring race yesterday after turn 1 on the first lap. But I think this track's shown the actually for once this season the difference in driver's skill, perhaps.
Yes, it is one of those where the skill gap. Oh, Danamo's made it
Let's
past
go past around the outside.
I tried the switchback, wasn't going to happen. Now Danamo needs to pull away. Thomas, incidentally, now is within striking range of KV, but that McLaren. Oh, who's off? That's Arbar!
It is
Into the
Arbar.
wall! He's kept it running.
Yep.
But the man in second drops to third and then loses the back end of that Williams.
It's those mediums. It's about now. I felt a little bit uncomfortable on them yesterday, just a little bit slidey, but got to be so careful through sector 1. The changes of direction, the change of load. He's going to have to limp that Williams round. He could still possibly get a couple of points.
It's a potential.
Potentially.
I mean, his teammate will probably inherit 10th.
Yeah.
With his current lack of pace because of that damage.
He was trying to let Dracer through, but Dracer didn't look to have the speed down the straight. And so those guys on the softs haven't really made, in terms of time difference, I know it's a position it wasn't expected, but in terms of time difference, haven't really made.
Thomas is going to go for it around the outside of turn 1. KV blocks it well.
Yeah, they haven't really
not made the indent yet, have they?
Yeah. What, 2.5 seconds maybe? 4 seconds at most in like 4 or 5 laps. Just, yeah. Strange, very strange.
Both Thomas and KV are pushing really hard now. They both have very little ERS left to burn. They're trying to close into the other and get away from one another.
Just realised Whitey Boy's on for a point, you know.
Could be, yeah.
Considering what happened to him at the start, the first couple of laps of the race.
There is. There's definitely a point up for grabs, and he's taken and fallen in the S's.
No. Behave. I've missed it, but stop it.
The third and fourth S. Thomas, though, is right in the gearbox of KV's McLaren, assuming he gets the chicane well here and takes it, which he does. This should be a move done for the Mercedes.
Go on, KV, make it difficult, come on.
KV chooses his line. He defends the outside, which is where you want to be, but nothing is stopping that silver arrow.
No, sweet's past.
Takes third place. Now, was it Robert earlier on who predicted, I believe, this podium just in a slightly different order?
I was going to say, he's going to be he's not that far behind Donamo, neither is KV, to be fair. Both of them managed to keep hold of Donamo in second place, as Mark's got passed into turn 1. That seems to be the popular choice of overtaking method this evening.
Certainly is. Just some things to mention, as I've been slacking on the Twitch front, I'm sorry. LQD, fantastic. Thank you very much for following. I hope you enjoyed the stream. And D Pullman, thank you for subscribing on Twitch. The Skywolf 181, thank you as well for following. I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you are new around here, of course, make sure you hit that follow button on Twitch, and if you're feeling very generous, you can subscribe or head over to our merch store and pick up some Contest of Speed goodies.
Hey, whilst you were doing your plugs, I couldn't mention it. Fulham said no to Wisey Boy. Alan wants the position back, and he got it. No.
Man.
So these two, I reckon.
Says no.
Yeah, well, I reckon these two are going to be having a ding-dong battle with another 5 laps to go. I think they're going to be swapping positions.
Thomas, meanwhile, is now within DRS range of Donamo.
Hunting them down. It's not often we have seen him in this position this season, Thomas, but hopefully he can demonstrate another skill to his racecraft that he's got.
Roberts just said he had Arbar in third behind Thomas and Slater, so not entirely impossible at the moment, but very, very unlikely.
Likely. 2-lap sprint to the finish anyway. Be fitting, wouldn't it?
Would. That's what they say after all, lightning can't strike twice in the same place. But then what's deja vu?
Exactly. Good result. Good
Thomas
result.
in half a second now.
Yep. Hey, Lou's going strong in 5th as well. It's been a good performance actually from both the Mercedes
good day
guys.
for Mercedes at the moment. Cavey as well made a good account of himself.
You know what he's going to be saying afterwards, don't you?
Who?
KV.
Cavey?
Tier 2? What's that?
Yeah, he will. He will. Thomas not quite got enough to get ahead of Donamo on that lap. He's got another 3 attempts.
We will jump over to Mark though. Mark seems to be... didn't get a great run off the final corner. He's getting closer, but I don't think it's going to be close enough. He looks to the inside. It's late on, they're side by side. They're still side by side. Dracer with the switchback. Mark's going to hold it down the inside, runs the grass, and Dracer, that is well defended.
Great driving from the Dane. We could see Wisey Boy and Fall in round 3 actually.
Oh, not quite. Fallen squeezed him out for once more.
Just staying with the battle for second at the moment. Thomas a 10th closer again, 4 tenths this time. Got a much better drive out of Spoon. He's closing in with the slipstream alone. Donamo burning the RS to stay ahead and not making it count. Misses the apex of the triangle. Thomas right under the wing.
He's got
DRS is open. This should be the move done. Has to go on the inside. It's where you don't really want to be. You know, Donamo will fight it, but he's not going to be able to stop him now.
No.
And Thomas is up to second. Now,
no, don't even think about it.
I'm not a gambling man.
No, don't even think about it. I know what you just thought.
Even I wouldn't like those odds.
I mean, Slater's going to have to massively bottle it, but...
Don't say that. Commentators curse,
even if he goes lean and none round the last 3 laps, I think he'll still...
All it takes is one mistake.
It's true.
Don't count it out just yet. Although that would be very much an uncharacteristic thing to happen to Big Slater.
So currently it's not enough at the moment. Donamo will still maintain his P2 in the Drivers' Championship, and it is looking like, Danny, Renault are going to walk away P2 in the Constructors as well.
I think you might be right. Especially with Rosa taking the fastest lap away
from Arbar.
From Arbar, yes.
Are we going to see a nice little quali session? I reckon Arbar's going to come in the pits again and go for the last on the last lap.
No, he's not going to lose any places. Although Wisey Boy and Fallen, I think, do have penalties, so he might be able to jump them.
Yeah, that's true.
Things settling down now. I think Wisey Boy and Fallen are the main fight, aren't they? And Mark and Dracer as well.
Still behind Dracer. Faxon's still there as well. These three have been running pretty much within 3 seconds of each other all race. Mark's probably sick of seeing a Haas by now. A bit like Cygate was an Alfa Romeo yesterday.
Yes.
27 laps, I think it was.
Yeah.
Pretty much the whole race.
Pretty much all of them. He's behind one of us.
And Wisey Boy got closer again, but he's still just hanging on. Has the advantage over Fallen with those slightly fresher tyres, but I don't know if we got the exact percentages. That'd be
the exact percentages. Fallen's are slightly more worn. The front tyres are around 5% more worn. The rear tyres are around 10% more worn.
Rhodes binned it. Spoon. Second half of Spoon. But there's not going to be a VSC or a safety car. He dropped it in the same place as
Mark did in qualifying, by the look of things. Yeah. He'd have been pushing to try and get the fastest lap.
Of course, yeah, because he's only on 2 lap old subs, that explains it all.
Slater then. He's on to his final lap. Final lap of the race. Final lap of the championship. Final lap of the season. Final lap for Tier 2 on this game. We'll of course be moving to the new title, F1 2020. Or the new season when it emerges next week.
So Wisey Boy's probably got one last chance, and I don't think he's going to be close enough. He gets ever so close, agonisingly away even. It's been a long season, feels like it anyway.
It has. It's been a long 24 hours for us, partying as we have been.
As we go on board with Slayer through the Casio Triangle for the final time.
Down towards the start-finish line, Big Slater wins in Japan to take the final win of the season, ending it in style. Thomas comes home in second place after starting at the very back of the field. Donamo in third. KV on his Tier 2 debut as Tier 3 champion is in fourth place. Charlie jumps above Lewis on penalties for fifth. Dracer, Mark and Faxland will come home next. See if penalties have any roles to play here.
Possibly.
And Faxland overtakes them both.
Yep, I think Mark knew that he didn't through in the last lap. I don't think Wisey Boy, he's too far away.
It might come down to penalties.
Yep, nice little battle over between these two on track.
Wisey Boy I know has a couple. It depends. Does Fallen has more. Wisey Boy takes it on the line for P10. And then Arbar jumps them both.
And then we shall watch Rosa bring us home and conclude a wonderful season.
Yes, it's been fantastic. One we both wish we could have been a part of, but equally so we are grateful enough to be able to commentate on it. And Ethan doing some ungainly acrobatics there through the final corner to send us away. Tier 2 rounds out with not the most exciting race in the world, but certainly a demonstration of the skill that these guys have got. And these three in particular next season will be welcome additions to our top tier, which is where they will be headed. KV will be coming up, and it looks like the baton will be handed over to a worthy successor The Tier 2 signs off in style then, as Season 5 comes to a close. Big Slater taking the win, Thomas in second, Don Amo in third. All three of those guys will be heading up to Tier 1 next season. KB coming up from Tier 3 after his championship victory last night. Put on a very, very good show for himself there in fourth place. Charlie P5 since the improved internet. He's been a new man. Lewis in P6 with his, I would say, one of his best race performances of the year in terms of consistency.
Yep.
Faxland and Racer, the two Danish Haas drivers, 7th and 8th after starting outside the top 10 on the alternate strategy. Mark in P9, similarly to the Haasses, but couldn't keep it in front on penalties. And then you've got Arbar rounding out the points in 10th place. Fallen was 11th, Wisey Boy 12th, Rosa 13th. Those are your confirmed finishers. And then your DNFs were Roland or Cosprofodas, Real Life or Robin, Ferrari Thomas, Menirik, and Jamie. So then let's get the three. Let's be honest, these have been the three that you would say have been the main challenges for the title all season. I would say.
Indeed they have. Indeed they have.
Throw Arbar in the mix as well, and you've got the full set. But these three in particular.
And there is the racing point. On your
Racing
screens.
point on the plinth. So then, championship wise, I think things are going to be staying the same.
Yes, they are.
At the moment. No one driver wise is going to be moving, at least at the, I say this without trying to be derogatory, the significant end of the field. Arbar's late incident with Thomas retiring mean that there's no jeopardy for him in fourth place.
Yep.
And
Trace, I
Slater.
think. Yeah, stays there.
Trace,
I think they all stay where they are, to be fair.
Yeah, Tracer stays there with Don Armour finishing on the podium. So then, who do we have already? Thomas. Right then, let's start with P3 then. Don Armour.
Yeah. I secured second place in both championships, I guess.
Yes, you did.
And the race was pretty much... I didn't have the speed of Thomas or so, but it was so much fun. A lot of overtaking, trying to chase down Arbar, and then...
Yeah, and then getting through and he loses it.
Yeah, that was such a shame for him. He had a good race. And Thomas had insane speed, and Slater was just too far away, and
not much more you could have done, but you got the result you wanted. Second in the Constructors' Championship with you and Rosa, and then yourself in second for the Drivers' Championship as well. So, great job. Let's see.
I think Thomas is here. Hopefully.
Thomas is here.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
He's not shouting this time
No.
in celebration.
I need to watch out because otherwise I have to give a shop away again.
Yes.
Nice. You do. So, not quite the last to first you wanted though, mate. After today.
Nah, Big Slater was too quick. I think if I qualified on pole position or at least in front, then I would probably won it. But Big Slater, when I went into the pits to stop for mediums, the gap was 14 seconds. So I knew that was almost going to be an impossible job because there was no way I was going to gain a second and a lap on Big Slater. And yeah, just at the end, 5 seconds I think away from him. I'm still happy with that one, and I had a fun race. That's all I wanted. So yeah, happy with it.
Yeah, it's not a bad way to sign off your season in Tier 2 before you head back to the promised lands.
The big leagues.
Of Tier 1.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a good way to end it, and I'm looking forward to see what my pace is looking like in Tier 1. Of course, it's a new game, so don't know if I'm gonna have the exact same pace or if I'm gonna be slower, quicker, but definitely looking forward to it, and hopefully I can do a good job in it.
Yeah. Well, certainly had fun watching you tonight, mate. Carve your way through the field, so great job. Well done on P2.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, big Slade and Donamo. Congrats on the podium. Let's Waters.
Thanks, man. You too.
Thank you.
So, got a race winner, Big Slater.
Yeah.
Did that sweeten the end of the season a little bit?
Yeah, it was just like normal drive. I think once I pitted, I knew once got to by the two horses. That's when I knew I could just take it easy.
Mm-hmm.
There's not really much said about the race, really.
I was say, it was relatively speaking, it was quite boring. To be honest with you, you just led away.
Yeah, but after when I passed the two horses, I knew it'd be because Arbar got caught up. I think behind Mark, was it probably?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really good.
When you came out of the pits and Mark was there as your buffer to Arbar, that was sort of the nail, if you like, in the coffin, barring any sort of mistakes for a safety car. But I mean, you showed your pace, you showed your class. To keep everyone else not only at bay but at arm's length as well, especially towards the end.
Yeah, that's it.
You've won driver of the day as well from the guys on the stream chat. So.
Oh really? Thanks.
It's just a shame that Rosa had to go and take your fastest lap, otherwise you had a Grand Slam.
Yes, I think Thomas had a quicker lap as well. I think he had a 30.5 as well. I was looking.
Yeah, there was a couple of guys I think by the time we got to the end that there normally is. But great job on this season, and wherever we may end up next season, it's been a joy to commentate on U3 this year.
Thanks, Dan.
Like it was a fun racing here.
So when you've got people making racing interesting, it makes our job so much easier.
That's it.
Yeah. So look forward to having you on next season in Tier 1, but for the time being, Tier 2 is going to be signing off for the season, for the game, for the championship. So thank you all at home very much for watching. We hope you've enjoyed the race and indeed the season. You can tune in again tomorrow night to watch Tier 1 and AM2, and then you can tune in on Thursday to watch AM1, and that will be the final race of Season 5. So all of those go ahead without a hitch. After that, it will be 3 weeks, and then we will be back. So I believe it is Monday the 3rd of August we will be back for Season 6. And you can tune in, it will be the usual time, so 10 PM in the UK on Monday the 3rd of August for Tier 3, and we will be back. The first track, we know what it is, but we've not made it public yet, so if you want to know the calendar as soon as it is available, you make sure to head over and follow us on all the social media, so Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can join our Discord server as well. Even if you're just a fan, we have a community section, and you are more than welcome to join that and discuss everything Contest of Speed. If you want to join us, make sure you hit up the Discord and we can get you into a seat for next season if we have space. And if you want to buy some merch, make sure you head over to our merch store, which is contestofspeed.live/merch. All that's left to say then is thank you very much again for watching. We'll see you next season. Goodbye.